Good day and welcome to Daily Excellence. My name is Donald, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 highest paying jobs in Nigeria. Don't go anywhere. Hello guys, so most of my videos now have chapters. You double click on the timeline and then the chapters present themselves. You can scroll through and click where you want to watch. Or another way you can access the chapters is to check in the description. You can find the chapters in the description. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get to it. You may be at a place where you're wondering if you chose the right line of work to do, or if the environment you find yourself in actually facilitates your success. In a place where many people are looking for unethical and immoral ways to make money, it's easy for you to wonder if Nigeria is a place where you can be legit and you can be legal and still make the big bucks. You might also be in a place where you're wondering, which job do you do? Like, which profession do you go into? Well, look no further, because Donald is here again with another informative video to cure your curiosity and settle your doubts. There are various reasons why people decide to do the kinds of jobs they do. Well, it seems like a place like Nigeria doesn't really encourage people to chase their dreams. It seems like Nigeria kind of frustrates people that try to go out of the norm. Well, if your dream is to go to school, get a job in an oil and gas company and make the big bucks, well, Nigeria might be a place that might facilitate that and you might have a chance. Well, if your dream is to be some type of great tech guru or some type of entertainment mogul, the environment might be a bit frustrating. Surprisingly enough, new opportunities are opening up all over the place for every Nigerian with a great heart and a great spirit and belief and hope and faith to come out, try new things, and still achieve success. So just in case you were wondering, here are the top 5 highest paying jobs in Nigeria. And I'm saying this in no particular order. That means I don't mean that number 1 is the highest paying and number 5 is the least paying and vice versa. I'm just giving you the numbers and look, these are the 5 jobs that people earn the most. So here we go. Number 1, musician. Kai, I wanted to do music that year. Kai, I was writing songs, going to studios, singing, performing. It was something else.
But why did you stop?
That's another story for another day. Musicians are raking it in when it comes to money in Nigeria. This could probably be due to the fact that our music has gone international. Now, people around the world can get to listen to Nigerian music through the internet and through streaming services. And when people listen to these songs, our Nigerian artists make a lot of money. Well, I cannot attribute the success that the music industry is taking only to the streaming services alone. I believe that industry people from the early years of the music industry have constantly pushed the bar to try to get Nigerian music to where it is today. So I give props to the old school guys like the Plantation Boys and the Remedies, and yeah, P-Square as well. They're not necessarily old school, they're still prominent today, but they're still doing something great and awesome. And today now we have Nigerians winning Grammys like Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido. And I believe that they're not just Nigerian artists anymore. I believe they're international artists now because they're being recognized all over the world. And the music industry has just taken a totally different form. I, for one, have been following the music industry since it started till today. And I've seen the advancement and changes that has happened. It has just been awesome. From the transformation of the music videos. You know how music videos used to be back then? I mean, it started from the music videos becoming a whole lot more professional. And then our sound started getting even more professional. I mean, it was just something else. And today, man, if you do not have backings of resources for you, you might not get to that place you want to get to in music. So musicians are raking it in. Now, because of how glamorous being a musician is, a lot of young folks, even older folks, want to get into the music game. And they believe that it's going to be easy for them to make it. They think it's easy. But the road to success as a musician is far from easy. Apart from the fact that you need to have the it factor, that means you have to actually be talented, you also need to work really hard to put out great songs out there because the competition is much. And then you need the backing of some industry people that can actually make you become who you need to be. That being said, making it as a musician is not a guarantee, but if you are gifted and you work really hard and you meet with the right people, with a little bit of luck, you just might make it. Number 2, commercial farmers. Why did I do it like that? Farming is not stuff ahead. You can be a farmer without hard labor. So why did I do? All right, let's move. When I hear about farming or somebody trying to advise me to get into farming, the first thing that gets into my head is the fact that I know nothing about the business. I just begin to see myself not making so much money. Because I feel like most people around Nigeria or around the world might feel like, farming is not something you can do and make serious money. But trust me, when I was doing my investigation for this particular video, I saw some figures that was just amazing. There is money in the farming industry. But if I'm going to go into farming, I'm going to first of all do my research because I know nothing about it. And to just simply hire somebody who will just go and farm and come and giving me information, I would have trust issues because I'd be wondering, is this guy telling me the truth about this or about that? I mean, there are certain things, there are certain seasons for you to plant certain things in order to harvest certain things at a certain time. There's a certain time when certain crops are selling. I mean, the science and the art behind making it as a farmer is just beyond me. But this doesn't change the fact that those who know how to make it in farming are making a lot of money. Imagine you as a lady, a guy walking up to you and having the conversation with you, and then you ask him, what do you do? And he tells you, I'm a farmer. What are the first set of thoughts that's going to go through your head? Because farming doesn't really look sexy, but there's a lot of money in it. Interesting fact. Nigeria has an arable land area of 34 million hectares, 6.5 million hectares for permanent crops, and 28.6 million hectares on meadows and pastures. Agriculture accounts for about 24% of Nigeria's GDP. The country is a leader in various types of agricultural products such as palm oil, cocoa beans, pineapple, and sorghum. It is the largest producer of sorghum in the world, just after the United States, and ranks 5th place in the production of palm oil and cocoa beans. Nigeria is also a large global exporter in this sector. Oil, fruits, nuts, seeds are among the 10 best performing export categories. So you see, there is business here, oh. We move! Number 3, engineers. Okay, so like I said, if your dream is to be one of these 3 engineers, doctors, or lawyers, then a father will be very, very happy to have you as a son or as a child, because engineers also make one of the top 5 jobs or professions where people make a lot of money in, especially if you're working for a big oil and gas company, because oil is one of the greatest Nigerian exports. Oil is the thing that makes Nigeria make a lot of money. So it's understandable that people who work in the oil and gas sector, most of which are engineers, should be getting paid a lot of money. So all this talk about engineers, let's go to the internet to find out exactly what an engineer does. Who is an engineer? Who is an engineer? Who is an engineer? What does an engineer do? What does an engineer do? What does an engineer do? An engineer is a person who uses scientific knowledge to design, construct, and maintain engines and machines or structures such as roads, railways, and bridges. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about it. Engineers, as practitioners of engineering, are professionals who invent, design, analyze, build, and test machines, complex systems, structures, gadgets, and materials to fulfill functional objectives and requirements while considering the limitations imposed by practical regulation, safety, and cost. Word engineer, blah, 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 blah. I needed to see the definition of, the actual definition of an engineer. Don't look at me as if you knew the definition yourself. But just saying engineer all over the place. I needed to know exactly what it was. So from that definition, we saw that an engineer works with engines. But how about chemical engineers and sound engineers? Because I know that a sound engineer works with a console, but does not necessarily build the machine and all of that. Enough of my musing. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Engineers can also decide to start their own businesses. Like a civil engineer can start his own construction company, a mechanical engineer and a computer engineer, whatever. They can also start their own businesses to tackle the different things that are in their field. Number 4, surgeon. Notice I didn't say doctors, although doctors do get paid a lot. However, a surgeon is a different level of doctors. And I feel like in this country, a lot of doctors are not being paid as they're supposed to be paid, or I might be wrong in that particular department, but that's just what I feel. Now, first of all, it takes really long for you to be a doctor. Then to advance into a place of being a surgeon, that's like another level. So what does it actually take to be a surgeon? Surgeon training and certification. Becoming a surgeon is a long and challenging process. The educational pathway takes an average of 13 years to complete upon graduation from high school. 13 years! What? Number 5, business person, businessman, businesswoman, or like we like to call it, entrepreneurship. But finally, I arrived at the one where I have a lot of mouths to talk about, an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship or business. A lot of Nigerians are going into business because there's a lot of money in business. I personally believe that the reason why a lot of people are going into business these days is because there are a lot of things in the country that might not be going on well. So when you spot that kind of gap, it's always good to develop some type of business that provides solution, because what else is a business except a solution provider? Another reason why a lot of Nigerians are going into business is because of constant complaint that there are no jobs, there are no jobs, there are no jobs. And sitting down folding your hands waiting for a job to come is just an exercise in futility. So sitting down and waiting for a job to come is totally futile. It's an exercise in futility. So a lot of people are going into business, looking for one type of business or the other, because there are businesses all over the place. There are ideas and opportunities to do business all over the place in Nigeria. I know I said I wasn't going to do this from like the highest to the lowest or from the lowest to the highest, but when I was doing my research, entrepreneurship or business is the category or the job that carries the highest paying in Nigeria. That's a surprise. In conclusion, these are the top 5 jobs that make a lot of money in Nigeria. Well, somebody can say that being an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship or being a business person is not a job, but it's actually a job for the person who is running the business. Just like you have to wake up in the morning and go to the office as an engineer, you also have to wake up and go to your office as a business owner. So it is a job. They are all jobs. They all make good money if you do them right. Let me know what else you'd like for me to talk about on the channel that has to do with entrepreneurship, business development, career development, personal development, or dating. I'll be glad to do that video for you because I'm here for you. Next week is the Valentine's week. I'm thinking about doing something on relationships. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, remember, your dream is possible. As its perks. I mean, it has a lot of positive things and you can do it full-time or do it part-time. However you want to do it, it is so flexible.